Hey, do we have audio this time? This is audio. All right. Yes. We did all the things this time. Yeah. Oh my God, that was.
Welcome to Chronicles of the Coast. I'm the Dungeon Master. I'm the one talking. You can't tell because I have a mask on.
Lies. It's all lies.
We are still masked because there's still a pandemic and there's still not a vaccine, but I mean, we're here for Dungeons and Dragons, so let's move on to good news. The good news is you're all gonna die likely.
Yeah. So new characters, like, is that the good news?
Right? Yeah, you brought a blank character sheet, right?
I have D&D Beyond, everybody.
Oh, great, D&D Beyond. We're
we're all going to convert to Genesis, right?
Yeah. We're switching sides. Nobody's dying today.
Yeah, right? Listen, you can't kill what makes you stronger.
Yeah. Can't beat him, join him. That should have been the name of the episode. If you can't beat him, join him.
Where was that 5 minutes ago?
Where was it?
Locked in this thing somewhere. I don't know.
Dan doesn't do creative on demand. He has to be natural. It's got to flow.
It's got to
flow. Like creative diarrhea from the mouth.
I'm not your monkey.
I knew it.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's okay. It's still creative.
Nothing but shots.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Sure.
Any announcements this week? No announcements?
Everything's on fire!
Yeah, everything's on fire. My world's on fire. How about yours?
Yeah.
Literally, my favorite place to ski, Heather Canyon, is on fire. My favorite place to camp is the Gifford Pinchot National Forest, Suisun.
Oh, yes.
On fucking fire.
Right?
It's not a good time right now.
So you know what that means?
I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it.
That means that this week is brought to you by firefighters. Thank you for fighting fires.
There we go. Nobody ever said defund the fire department.
No,
Yeah.
no, we love those guys.
Keep working.
What are you, a
for
socialist?
nothing.
Yeah.
Felons out there that are
Jesus.
being forced to work on the fire line.
Socialized firefighters.
Oh,
Dig those fire trenches.
God.
Jesus.
right.
We'll
Yeah.
go rake the forest.
Get me a rake.
go.
I'll show you how we do it in the Netherlands.
Yeah, let's get to that right now.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. I'm going to lose it. I told you. I'm gonna lose it.
These are your spots of peace, man. Your places of harmony, dude.
But it's recorded for the world to see.
Forever.
For our 5 viewers. And no comments on that yet. I think we just lost all of our subscribers.
Yeah.
Wit.
Yeah, I don't think we could ever
We can't
offend.
lose them all.
Could we ever offend
Quite
bad?
a few of them are sitting here at this table. I'm gonna tell you what, right now. So,
Well, I wasn't logged in yet, so
Uh-oh.
now we're going to have 8.
Down to 4.
you know what? This is a really bad stream. I need to unsubscribe.
These guys.
I'm gonna leave a review.
Weirdos.
Full audio to you too, Badger.
Look at that dungeon master. He's got a ponytail, but he's losing his hairline. What a fucking tool.
Never trust a hippie, man.
Right?
Damn hippies.
Quit trying to hide it, you shithead.
Right? Don't hide behind that mask.
I used
He
to
wants
love
the lessons
Chronicles
on
of the Coast
coping.
until they all became skinheads.
You ain't the only one that lost it, Chris. I think we all
Let
lost
it go.
Yeah. There we go.
No Caesar for me.
Daniel found the
Talking
cure. The
about
cure
gas.
is hat.
Yeah.
Hair loss,
Clippers.
acute treatment.
Hair loss accessory.
acute treatment.
Yeah, and I don't have
Yeah.
a T.
It's okay.
Treatment.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Hair loss accessory treatment.
So
All right.
last week,
Pizza hairpiece.
Last week you were all in the dark and gloomy land of Page, which is dark and gloomy, yes, but at the same time has questionable morals, so you actually felt quite welcome.
There was some
hey,
color.
we got to go to a sweet party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sanguine soiree.
We went to a red shower.
Only a few dead people.
It was a once-in-a-lifetime event.
For
that's
real.
sure.
We'll never do it
Especially for
again.
the guests that dropped in.
Especially for the guests of
real?
honor.
For all those people hanging on the grating.
Bada bing.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of hangabouts.
Yeah.
Party crashers.
Yeah, some real party
hanger-ons,
crashers.
you
Some
know.
hanger-on, yeah.
Yeah, we ran over a
It's a bit
civilian on the
dicey
way
at the end
to the
there.
bar. Oh, way to pull it in.
Thank you.
After that, you made a political ally in Elizabeth Bolton, who has agreed to aid you. If you can secure the magic circle, she will make attempts at sending in reinforcements to secure the area.
Trouble is, we popped in, and there was about 8
Mages.
badass mages just channeling the power of the gods, as well as several guards in this
16.
room.
16 guards.
Yep, 2
Yeah.
guards for every mage.
And
So we made the decision not to open fire.
yeah, so it was at that point that we realized we couldn't just go in guns blazing.
Yeah.
Plus, they
Then we
didn't have
opened the
the
door
troops,
into the
like-
next chamber, and we realized it was a really smart thing for us not to do that because there's hundreds more
Yeah.
in the
there's a lot
next
in there.
chamber.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we seen the little tough guy, the little wife beater, crocodile riding halfling. He appears to be the prison guard,
Or
the
kill that
main
asshole.
jailer. So I can smell him from here. I got my eyes on him.
Go back to Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Bacon.
Ah, yes. You were speaking of none other than Richie, the halfling.
Richie, the halfling.
Richie
Yep.
the halfling.
And
Richie.
yeah.
And you had some people in barrels, correct?
Previously, but they took off. We gave them to Richie.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're...
It's all part of the plan.
Yeah,
They're
Richie's,
fuel.
Richie's like, you don't know me, do ya? You must be new here.
Oh shit! Are
You
they
had that
gonna
Newsies
talk?
boy accent, right?
Are they gonna talk? Are they gonna tell Richie like, "Hey man, there's some fucking guys like in
Prisoners,
That's what we're waking up
prisoners
in
are
this
gonna
barrel?
say anything
Yeah,
to save
right.
their skins.
Yeah, but a smart guard would check it out anyways. We'll see how well Richie does. All right.
Richie's
Well,
not a
guards have to
guard.
follow
That's not his
orders.
job.
Jailer, I mean.
Richie's not a jailer either.
He's like the warden, man.
No, dude. Richie is literally like a freelance or something here.
Well, I thought he was the jailer.
Was he really the jailer?
Yes, he's
Alright.
the whole.
So-
He's the complete jailer.
Yeah, Taz was like, take these things to the prisoner, and he's like, or the prison. And he's like, hell no, you take him to the prison. I'm not your bitch.
Yeah. And then I was like, "Your job is watching. My job is getting. Go." And he was like, "Fine."
I don't like it, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
They're like,
I'm going to complain the whole time.
Complain, but I'm gonna do it.
And
and then
keep
Cyrano did
talking.
the coolest thing possible, where he's like, "Hey, go take these guys to the north side, or go see the quartermaster on the north side." And he's like, "Oh yes, the dirty door." And they're like, "What?" And then they looked at the door.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good.
We tricked him into
good
figuring
misdirect.
into pointing which door it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
You did. It was great.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so, with your awkward companion, Facesterly and Sylvanar, in
Yeah,
tow,
Still there. Is he disguised at all?
Yeah.
he is as disguised as the rest of you.
He's got a.
Did he drink a potion?
He drank a potion.
Okay, so he's
got a
doesn't
medallion.
look like himself.
We gave him a medallion
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well
right,
because we
right.
had some extras.
Yep.
Had some extras.
Remind me
Just
what this
extras.
room is.
So,
That's where the elementals are.
we left off in room number 2.
Yeah.
In room number 2, I described to you as you step in that there are these rows of, they appear to be like small prisons, but like the iron bars only come up so far, about waist high on you. From there's another set up above, and they are joined by this unusual purple-like lightning that's completing the bar in between everything. And that is...
So it's like a cage cut in half and then opened up, and then there's like energy in between.
Right.
Force cage.
And there are different creatures in separate cells of these
So
cages.
the bottom half
How
is
many?
material, and the upper half is
right.
force
And
or
the whole
lightning
thing
or-
the whole thing obviously is just reeking of magic. There's
How many?
how many creatures in there?
Cages, whatever.
Cages? There are
Both.
I think it was about almost 1 dozen cages. What you see in this room,
So 12. A baker's dozen, right?
That's 13.
yeah, a baker's dozen. That's 13.
Okay.
We'll go with 13. That sounds cooler. Inside these cages, first off on the outside, there are a couple of members of Genesis who are moderately armored. They don't really look like much of anyone. And you can see that one of them has a wheelbarrow. Well, and there's a wheelbarrow between the two of them. They both actually have shovels, and they're shoveling this gravel into buckets in the middle of the room. One guy is kind of like standing off to the side a little bit, like he's just kind of supervising. He's not really doing a whole lot of anything except for looking at the creatures in the cages. The creatures that you see in the cages are 3 creatures that look kind of like a ball of stone, a medium-sized boulder, but it has arms and legs of stone sprouting from it. You also see one creature that looks exactly like a bull, a large bull cow, a bovine, but even though it's built as an ox, it looks like a metallic statue, like it's all metal. It moves though, animated, whatever it is, whatever magic is powering it.
The first one was 3.
The 3 of the boulder creatures,
Yeah.
1 of the large steel bovines, and then 4 medium-sized creatures that look to be a collection of rock, gravel, and stone and dirt, all brought together, and they kind of stand there more humanoid size. The 3 smaller ones are shaped like boulders, but these things look almost humanoid. But they're clearly, like, you might even think that they were a golem of some sort. All of those creatures, the 4 humanoids, the large bovine type, and the 3 boulder constructs, are all trapped in these magical cages. They finish filling up one of the buckets with gravel and bits of rock and stone, and they push that through the magical part. And it doesn't do anything really to the hand or the bucket, but you see that it kind of sears and burns away at the stone in the bucket, not anything organic. And as it does, the bovine creature leans forward and starts chewing up rock and gravel and just
Okay.
bits and pieces of gravel and sand fall from its jaws as it eats from the bucket, the same as a cow or a horse would chew on oats from a handler.
Okay.
So there's 13 cages, but only 8 creatures.
Correct?
Okay. So the others lie empty.
Correct.
The magic's still arcing between them, or is it dead?
Correct. It's still arcing.
Okay.
Can I do an Arcana check to figure out if there's a switch?
You can certainly do an Arcana check.
Where are these people in relation to us right now? Do we,
They are in the center of the room, and you kind of stand in the doorway. You walk in, and you're taking all this in. You get all this in just a few short seconds.
Right.
And they haven't really done a whole lot to acknowledge your presence. One of them kind of looks up and looks in your direction, but he's got a job to do, and he shrugs it off.
Right.
So I'm intrigued by the force cages and their mechanical nature mixed with technology and magic is kind of how I roll. I roll a 23 to determine whether or not there's a switch or an easy on off, or I'm trying to figure out how this whole system works.
You suspect that it's something similar to like a modified symbol spell or a sigil spell. That there is probably going to be something that you would consider to be like a key, that when you bring it up close, it probably dissipates the magic, and then when you pull it away, the magic goes back in. There's definitely a way to deactivate it, but you're not entirely too sure what.
No switch.
Maybe even Dispel Magic would do it, but there's not like a torch or a sconce on the wall that you could pull to deactivate all of them.
How long have we been in here?
Let's just keep them fed.
You have been in this layer of Genesis for about 10 minutes. Maybe.
Okay.
All right.
I am going to start I'm going to walk in confidently like I belong here. And I'm going to start looking around. I'm going to acknowledge the workers. Great job, guys. Really, really great job taking care of these creatures here and these devices. And over here, my friend, Cyrano, I point at you. Come take a look at here. Look at the workmanship and the craftsmanship here. And I just start sort of touring the whole place, talking the whole time. Just sort of talking everyone up, telling the guys what a great job they're doing every once in a while. And if possible, I'd like to take 10 minutes in here.
I want you to give me either a deception or a performance check.
Who looks like Biff? Who looks like Biff?
Who looks like Biff?
I look like the girl.
Biff was the owner of the place. I don't think any of us chose Biff, did we?
I don't think I chose Biff.
No, it might be me.
No, you chose.
It might be me.
Right.
And
So
Biff
that's
Julian just looks like a human, right?
That's actually what my next question was going to be, is that while you're doing this, I want you to describe so you can remind everyone who's viewing or maybe just tuned in that you do not look like yourself because of a potion that you took, correct?
Correct.
So normally you are a human with half your head shaved and
Goatee,
Owl.
nose ring.
goatee, nose ring, owlbear fur kind of mantle.
Mm-hmm.
What do you look like right now?
Right now, I'm wearing the robes of Genesis, and I look, although I don't have a great description of her from before, but I look like the woman.
No, I did.
Oh, you did the woman?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I look like her brother,
The brother.
who is undead. And I believe, if I recall correctly, he sort of had half of his face and jawline was sort of like exposed and a
I think
bit
so too.
sinewy and such.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm just sort of walking around, my hood is sort of up though, and the medallion is showing plainly. And I'm just pointing at everything and talking about it all. You want performance or deception? Either, you say?
Yep, one of the two. And what do you look like, Cyrano?
So I am his brother, Biff, who was the brewer from the bar in which all the shenanigans was happening. He is alive. I just assume he looks like a bartender kind of.
Okay.
I didn't really get a good description of him, but
Gaunt, almost, he looks a little bit less like a bartender and a little bit more like a grave digger.
okay.
The kind of stereotypical
Sure.
horror trope version.
Okay, so he's got
Nice.
his little hunched but kind of buff,
Yeah.
buff arms.
Right, but
And so I'm kind of like shuffling along behind him. But normally, Cyrano is a human, bald, short, kind of a little pudgy with a giant nose.
Nakma.
Right. Yes, Nakma, normally large minotaur. Scars on his back, silver-tipped horns. He looks like, not much of a description as I recall, a female. Was she undead?
Yes.
Yeah.
She was undead
Biff was the
also
only one
in the
as well.
Genesis robes of purple and the medallion and all that good stuff. Yes, female, undead, sister.
Best rolls.
Biff's sister.
And you were the spellcaster of the three.
I am appearing to be the
sister
caster,
was the
yes.
caster, yeah.
You guys got made up names?
No, we're using Biff. We're using their names.
Oh, what are their names? Biff. What's her name?
Stop it.
I
Why
don't
would
have
you
it
like
written
that?
down.
I
What's
would.
his name?
Hold up, hold up.
So cruel.
What the hell, John?
Moody.
Sorry, you're here.
A beautiful, beautiful purple shade of
Never got a
scales
name.
all over the top of his skin. He has these golden scales that come all the way up to the bottom of his neck, and he's wearing a metal helmet like he usually does, and a big bright red cape that has the symbol of the Black Lotus on the back of it, of course. And his big, bright orange parachute pants that he wears everywhere he goes, that are almost like cargos because they got these giant pockets in the sides of them. He has this collapsible ladder on his back that's always sitting like folded up. And he's currently invisible.
Mooney is invisible.
DM, I got a 22 on my performance check, rolled with advantage, thanks to enhanceability.
Bad bro over there.
Faestrelian is there, dressed in exactly what he was wearing before, which was a armor that you've never seen, but it looks to be from Page. Brand new, sparkling, lots of shades of black and gray and red. However, he took the opportunity to disguise himself and create a single scar.
Great.
Well done.
And an amulet of Genesis.
And
Beautiful.
folded his ears in, right?
No.
No.
No, still an elf.
Proud
Super
elf.
lazy.
Yeah, proud elf.
Yeah, so 22 on my performance, basically, as I'm just sort of, basically, what I'm trying to look like is I'm showing a fellow Genesis member who maybe hasn't had a chance to see the greatness of what we're doing in this particular neck of the woods
That'll
yet,
be me.
and I'm just sort of showing them
Okay.
around.
All
You're
right.
showing me around.
Yeah, well, and Cyrano, too.
And
You guys are
Cyrano.
both there, yeah.
Right.
That's right. This is fantastic.
Wait. Did I hear you right? Says one of the cultist members here in the center of the room. Did you say Biff? No, I'm sorry. Did you say Cyrano?
It's a sort of a nickname for my friend here, that's all.
Oh. Oh, man, you look really familiar.
No, he's got one of those faces. You guys look tired. Don't you think it's about break time? Got a nice bottle here.
We just started.
Really? You're so
Yeah.
good at your job, I could hardly tell.
We just walked.
I've been in here for 10 minutes, so...
Right. We've been feeding the creatures for 10 minutes. We just got here. Wheelbarrow was full when we got here. No, I mean, like, you just... Man, you're right. You got one of those faces. Ah,
Yeah.
I feel
it
like I met
definitely
you
does.
before.
Is my 10 minutes up?
Yes.
Temporary hit points. And I'm like, anyways, all right, fellas. Well, we don't want to trouble you for too much longer.
Do you
We're
have to
going
see for that?
to go ahead and head out. And you enjoy the rest of your shift.
What was your name?
What's that?
What was your name?
I didn't give it, actually. I thought we were supposed to be very secretive about ourselves.
No, you're a proud member of Genesis. What's your name?
No, I don't know her fucking name.
That's her.
I don't know.
His name,
my
I mean.
either.
How many people are in the serve?
Right now?
How many people are in
I
the
think
server?
Excuse me, I asked you
two
a
people were
question.
shoveling.
How long are you going to stare at me with a vacant expression on that face?
You know, I think that you just caught me a bit off guard. I didn't realize the distribution of rank here was the guy with the shovel gets to ask the guy with the robes and medallions and magical knowledge and powerful friends who their names are and where they're coming from and stuff. I think it's best that you go back to your job and I go back to my job. Persuasion check?
Intimidation.
Intimidation? Yeah, I'll take that. Rolling with advantage.
Come on, buddy. Why are you rolling with advantage?
Enhanced
Enhanced
ability, charisma
ability.
checks.
That's my highest spell slot.
Oh,
Oh, thank God.
19.
No need to be rude about it. I was only asking what your name was. We just met and you've been in here for 10 minutes. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm
I mean,
sorry.
You're obviously new here. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't mean to offend you.
Come
I don't
on.
even understand who you are or what your rank is, but I mean, you've got the markings of someone, so
Just ruffled my feathers a little. I'm
my
sorry.
brother.
apologies, my lord.
There's much more to see here, brother. Let's go.
Can I do a, I'd like to figure out whether they were wearing the key or whether there's, the key to unlock the cages.
Perception search.
So it's more like,
Okay.
come, brother, there's more for us to see here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does a potion of disguise self change your voice?
No.
No, but they would certainly try to act like a wolf talk high pitch.
Wait.
17 is my perception.
I love it.
Moody's like trying to stifle laughing.
No, you do
You're
not
up to
see
die.
anything that you think would be the key on these people.
Is there an opportunity to come, when he's talking to him, to go and try and pickpocket one of them?
It's in there for 10 minutes.
You got 10
Walking
minutes.
around.
Do you think you can make an opportunity?
I'd like to try.
What do you do?
Well, as soon as he starts asking my companion what their names is, I will just kind of wander over towards one of the cages and try and get past out of their line of sight, and then just kind of do a double take and just kind of accidentally bump into one and do a finger lift.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand.
Okay. Activating my gloves of thievery.
Oh, yeah.
So sleight of hand's not really on here, but be talking about. Oh, there it is. Two. Sorry about that. So 2 plus 5. Oh, it's plus 5, not advantage. My bad. I'll reroll. Sorry.
Ooh, come on.
Ooh. So that's 15. Forgot the gloves were just plus 5.
Yeah, you bump into one of them as he's shoveling. He's like, watch it. Sorry. As you do so, you manage to. There's not a lot that you can see, so you kind of feel, and as you're doing so, you kind of lift something up off of him, and you quickly sequester it away, trying to stash it and hide what you just
I
did.
don't have time to look at it.
Yeah. And based on what you grabbed and what you can tell as you're trying to hide it, you think all you managed to find was a dagger.
Okay.
You didn't really feel anything else on his person when you did it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's
I'll
good.
look at it later.
Shocking for
Let's
later.
so. Okay.
Is it a Chris or Curse?
Chris.
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 Yeah, is it a Chris like all the other ones?
Yes.
Oh,
One of those short or long daggers with a curved blade.
you can't tell until you unsheath.
Is there one of the cages that don't have something in it on my way towards the exit?
Yeah.
I'd like to bump kind of close to it
Okay.
to see if the dagger will unlock it.
It does not.
Okay, and then I'll walk away and go to the exit.
Just like,
Because I don't know what it is. But I'm
Describe
just
to
like,
me how you bump into this.
Well, no. So like, if it's here, I'm just gonna kind of walk next to it on my way out. Just
Just
kind of within 3 or 4 feet.
Kind of like
Super close.
Yeah,
hug close
because
to
I
it.
figured out there was a key, so I'm just like, whatever I stole, is it the key? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
nothing happens.
Yeah, nothing happened. All right, I walk on.
Okay. Looking over.
I
my
don't walk out. I
shoulder.
walk to the exit. So
Right,
wait for him.
Go.
And we will head out of this room.
Don't talk.
Yeah, don't.
Oh yeah, don't talk. Don't talk.
I knew I shouldn't have let you.
No charisma. Don't talk.
Yeah. We'll head out this way. We're still in search of the quartermaster, so.
Excellent. You travel out of the main chamber and you start traversing down, trying to find the quartermaster. You come to a door on one side, as well as most obviously right in front of you, there is a portcullis. And through the portcullis, you can see a very large room, about that size. For anybody at home who sees what I'm doing,
Oh yeah, I gotta turn that on. Actually, it might be on. I gotta focus.
it might be on.
how's all these rooms lit?
Oh yeah, it's on. I'll fix it.
Oh, I'm glad you asked that because I totally forgot to mention this.
While we're walking down this corridor, I lean over into Nakma and I very quietly whisper, "Hey, buddy, how deep are we?"
Yes, as a Minotaur, I would like to know how deep underground we are.
You don't have anything to give you a reference because you were teleported in and you've never seen the outside.
It doesn't say that in his skills. It just says that he can do it.
Says they know how deep they are from spending time in.
Kind of like how
Underground.
birds can always tell which way is like magnetic north.
All right.
Alright, he said.
Okay, well,
They're blessed by Uptao.
I would say that you kind of looking, man, this is like you have better understanding of stone and mazes than dwarves.
Yeah, they're not called
And I'm the smartest fucking Minotaur on the planet.
the master of the dwarf mazes.
Ever.
It's master of the Minotaur
Mystery.
maze.
Anyways,
Sorry.
looking at the stone around you, you see that this particular place is carved out of deep stone. But
So
at
I'm
the
like feeling the rock.
But at the same time, you're able to place the stone. Give me an intelligence roll.
Dear Lord, are we in the sky and it just looks like we're underground? Oh, nice.
What?
That's like
13?
that was like a Tony Hawk
Yeah,
move.
right.
13.
Proceed
It's
to-
very old, ancient mountain stone. It's like carved out of the bedrock of something. But if you're in, you suspect that you're in an actual.
Why would you think that? John's just like, gotta be a skyship.
Right?
Mountain Rock's gotta be a skyship.
Hold on. When he looks around, is there any water?
You do not see any
Any
water.
puddles of water?
No.
Like the ground seeping. This side.
No, like if there's like a current.
Moody's having a panic attack invisible right now. Oh, wait. I think we're in the
On
fucking
the
area.
DM's description.
Anyway. So, how deep is he?
Yeah.
How deep is he? Tell me. If he's
Deep
like
shit.
if he's 1,200 feet above sea level, I'm not gonna lose my shit here. But I totally will lose my
So
shit.
funny.
You are picking up that you are thousands of feet above sea level.
Wow.
Oh my
So I feel much closer to the stars than I should.
Oh, wow.
You feel much higher in elevation
The
than you
ocean.
were in Page.
So I'm getting a little
Oh, Page is
vertigo
already
issue.
not very high, right? Page is not.
Okay.
Page is pretty close to sea level.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You're thousands of feet above.
Could be a mountain. Doesn't have to be
Oh,
an
yeah.
airship.
Yeah, it'd be
Super
like
mountain,
the
huh?
tip of a mountain, maybe. How
Oh
high is
my
the highest
God.
mountain?
Okay.
Thousands of
List
feet.
Yeah.
12,000
List
feet.
the plans.
Thousands of
God.
Okay.
Even Mount Hood is like 7,000 feet.
But,
12,000 feet or 1,200.
What is Everest? Like 20,000 feet?
It's enormous. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
St. Helens used to be.
Thousands of feet up. It's
You
still
can't-
really high.
don't walk this back. We know we're in the air.
Oh yeah, they're totally a skyship made out of mountain rock.
That's a lot of shit.
All right.
Okay.
Listen, I heard about these halflings called vestigial half.
I'm just gonna think about this until I can figure out a way to explain it to these guys.
Yeah.
You ever heard of sky wardens?
No, that's good. So, I guess.
You just kind of see me like looking at the stone in the ground. You just kind of see me looking around, but I don't know how to put it into words yet. So
Is this portcullis have bars?
Yes.
All right. My familiar, who is invisible and with me, is going to go ahead and stealthily go into this room.
Your familiar turns invisible and stealths forward and tries to go through the bars. Give me a stealth check for your familiar.
He said tries to go through the bars. That's not.
Oh,
that's
watch
not
your
a good
eyeballs.
thing.
Those of you who are
Trying to go
standing
through
here
the-
in the hallway,
The magic bars.
I didn't realize they were magic.
I'm not just
until
standing.
now.
I'm always like hugging walls
Um,
and stealthily moving.
It's pretty good. The sprite has a really high.
Now, when you did the explanation, did you say organic material was fine, but rocks got zapped?
yeah,
But I thought is this portcullis made out of magic?
no.
Oh shit. Okay.
What's the portcullis? What are you talking about?
There's a portcullis.
There's a
We
portcullis
walked down the hallway.
on the way to room number 3. So as you're walking down the room, you can see directly
What is that?
into.
Just a barrier? I'm not familiar with
Portcullis
It's a gate that goes up
Okay.
and down.
Oh, okay. And you can see through it. It's what, like the
Yeah,
the
it's a
hole-
gate that
Yes.
goes up and down.
How was the lighting again?
So
Usually they're spiked at the bottom.
You got it.
the entire place that you've been in so far, you've noticed a couple of things that seem to be consistent about this particular place. First off, this particular their hideout, the corridors and chambers of all of everything that you've seen so far are brightly lit. There are glass orbs that are floating magically from the ceiling. They seem to be kind of suspended in some kind of cage that is tethered magically to the ceiling above them. These glass orbs are filled with lightning that provides a bright light. You can see that there's an arc of like electricity. If you imagine like a plasma ball but shedding a bright light, it hurts your eyes to look at them for more than a second. And they are illuminating everything. You can see everywhere. There are no torches.
Beautiful.
Just this lightning storm in a bottle, as you will.
Your lightning, touch it. See what happens.
Yeah, right.
Your
It
lightning.
never ceases
touch
to
it.
amaze me the corollaries between
Just
this
light.
world and mine at times.
Why do you think he's making
Not
this?
touching
This
one
isn't
day.
fire.
Last thing I
You should
Last
come and
thing I
see where
touched.
I'm from, Cyrano. You'd get a kick out of it.
The
You
corridors.
say to like the wrong side. I'm on the other side of you.
The corridors in all of the tunnels and everything that you've been in so far and that you have seen are all 8 feet high. The chambers that you have been into have all been so far 15 feet high, unless I tell you otherwise. The corridors themselves are carved in shape out of stone brick that appears to have been taken from a mountain of some sort. There are networks of piping conduits that are all above you. You can see the entire hall and chamber are all massive brass and copper tubes going down and splitting and sometimes going right into a stone wall in other directions. Every now and then you get a glimpse of one of these that has like a glass viewport in it so you can see on the inside.
Right.
And it's channeling this unusual looking green, not like a sickly pea soup alabar green, but more like a bright, vibrant, verdant green. Magic energy is flowing through it.
Yeah, I did a Arcana check on this stuff, and apparently this magic is like supercharged, like enough power to like raise a god.
And
But it's unstable.
And I
It's
bel-
theoretical.
I believe I also told you that this particular magic, concentrated magic in Amarth is called Aetherium.
Aetherium. I
Yes.
did not get that.
So these steam pipes of Aetherium run along the corridors, and they move about. Not that any of your characters have a concept of this, but they actually move about the entire place like circuitry on a circuit board. They move this way and that and branch off in different directions, but they're very purposeful.
Is this a computer?
Anyways,
Nobody doesn't know that,
a couple of these pipes are actually large enough that they look like they can be a humanoid figure of medium size could be inside of one. There's a few of the hallways typically have at least one of these, or you see them here and there crossing in and out of stone walls at certain points.
Are there access points anywhere?
Some of them have these viewports for the magical energy. Some of them have these viewports, but you don't see that magical energy on the inside.
No, it's like Snowpiercer.
But is there any? Yeah, right. Are there any type valves or open doors or
One or two of the
any
ones-
normal plumbing stuff?
These much
Right.
larger ones, these large circular, they're about 2 feet wide, maybe 2.5 feet wide. They typically, from what you can tell, have, in certain places you have seen so far, a sort of vent.
Does it have an
And that's
odor?
where the steam was being released. That's what you're talking about.
A lot of these pipes have steam being released. These
that's not the
larger
vent.
ones,
Okay.
these larger ones have vents, but it's not releasing steam.
Is it taking
In
in
fact,
air?
is it what?
Is it taking in air when you touch it? Do you feel...
As you walk by Nakmo, you put your
Nakmo?
hand up and you feel
Yes.
that it's drawing in.
Okay.
And those are the tubes that appear clear through the view window.
Some of them, but some of these larger ones that are that size also have this magical energy on the inside as well.
But either way, they're pulling air in.
Yeah, the same ones, magical energy or no magical energy, whether they have the Aetherium or not, you can feel a current drawing in.
Okay.
What does any of us know about Aetherium?
Yeah, good question. Arcana check.
Arcana check.
Never heard of it myself.
Aside from all that,
16?
the
Not
entire
too bad.
dungeon has a
21.
constant...
There you go.
Wow. Aside from that, the entire dungeon has this constant magical hum,
Minotaur.
this sound of metal on metal clanking, the sounds of buzzing and zaps. Exactly what I got going on with the ambient
I
sound.
like it too.
Okay. So I got an 18. You got a 20-something.
21.
The two of you both know
We
that
just start talking to each other
the magical tides of Amarth.
Of course! It's the dynamic sphere!
at the same time.
You mean the harmonic convergence?
Oh my god! Of course!
Magical energy on Amarth is just called Aetherium, but this is just concentrated Aetherium. This place has so much magic around it, and you don't know why.
Imagine if they could store this into
What?
bars or some sort of like transportation device.
Mooney, be quiet.
No, this is Nakmos saying this. This is smart Nakmos.
Yes, thank
inside
you.
of his head.
So I was listening to the DM. I didn't hear anything you said.
It's the voice of Nakmo's head.
Voice of Nakma's head.
Since you
Is a
seem
woman.
to know so much about this, what
It's our combined.
what is known to, what could possibly produce such power on a Mars? Where
Yeah,
are there
good
any
question.
known things that could do this?
Natural?
Natural or otherwise? Have there been anything? I'll make a history check.
Remember that dragon? Didn't he kind of do shit
Have
like
I ever
this?
heard of anything that can contain this much power in any of the books I've read since I've been here, or anything like that?
Give me a check.
And I'd also like to figure out whether those elementals in the other room were getting siphoned. Like, where's power being drawn from them?
Those were elementals. They were mechanical, right?
No.
Not all of them.
Not all.
3
Just the
stone
bull.
elementals and 4 rock golems.
Yeah, was there a vent in there pulling air?
And a metal
Drawing.
metal
Yeah.
The
piece.
bowl is a.
There was.
There
This
was-
could be
there was
good.
There was a large vent in that area.
This could be
It didn't.
good.
It only ran through one half of the room and not the other half. It did go through half of the cells, but not the other half.
So did it appear like it was siphoning energy from them?
You're not entirely sure.
Okay, okay.
You could say that, but you also are second guessing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's a 50-50 in your mind.
Wasn't clear.
18 on my history check.
Nice.
On if you've ever seen this much magical energy in one place.
No, if I've ever like read or heard of anything on a Marth being able to generate this much power, like a natural phenomenon or unnatural or an artifact or anything.
If you can figure out where the power is coming from.
Yeah, what could possibly contain this much power?
It could be
You
a
said
lot.
contain? Or do
It
you
could be
Produce, contain. I didn't mean contain.
It could be a few different things. You're not entirely sure what it could be exactly. I mean, the first thing that comes to your mind is one of the infamous magical storms of Amarth. But as you can see, you're not in the middle of a storm. These vents are all drawing stuff in from the rooms that you're in.
I guess what I'm ultimately trying to figure out in my mind, what Taz is trying to work out, is like, is this much power the result of one thing that they're draining, or are they draining many sources to create this much power? Like, have I ever heard of anything that could have this much power, or is it likely coming from many sources?
There's a few things, not a lot, but a few things that can produce tremendous amounts of Aetherium.
A storm.
A storm.
Mooney can tell you this. It would be the same as the way they produced every one of the ceremonies so far. They've tapped into the elemental energy around them to produce these. Just like they did with the ice, just like they did with the fire.
They could be
Right.
tapping into a planar
Right.
gate of elemental energy. They could be tapping into a primordial
And this one's
locked
stone.
away.
But I mean, if that was going to be anywhere, it would have been in that dope-ass room.
Yeah, but he said enough energy to make a god. So this would have to be like channel energy from like a plane, right?
Yeah.
Mooney doesn't hear you say this, so he doesn't exactly explain this, but
Right.
reason.
Those creatures in the other room, they will be subverted, perhaps, to further expand the tunnels of some kind. They're all tunneling creatures. If they weren't being siphoned, then they were here for jobs.
Excavators.
Well, that
So
makes
whatever
sense.
is being sucked energy into this system, it is not them, it is something else.
I recognize one of the creatures from a book of myth from my homeland. I believe it's called a Gorgon.
The bull-type creature?
Yes.
It's been at least 20 minutes. How much time did I say?
They're known to feast on stone. So that tracks.
You say 20 minutes?
They were
At
eating
least.
stone when we walked in?
Yes.
Because he did a 10 minutes inspirational speech, and it was 10 minutes when we got into the room.
You guys get 11
Okay, sweet.
temporary hit points,
You
by
got
the
30
way.
minutes left.
No.
So-
Anyways,
This took extra
Uh,
time too. Like what we just talked
my
about.
familiar got a 21 to
No,
its
it's all the
stealth
time I've
roll
been keeping track.
a while
So
back.
you drink the potions?
Your familiar is in this room and looking around. You can also see through the bars. You are all stopped in the midst of this hallway as you're kind of on the outside of one of these doors in particular. And you're looking at the vent and you're talking and exchanging words. You see that there are a couple of guards on the inside of the room that your familiar slept into. And they're all kind of just like chatting and bullshitting basically. I'm like, oh, what's going on? It's like, hey, did you hear that? It's like, we're finally here. We finally are here. It's the precipice. And it's like, man, I can't believe it. I cannot wait. Dude, the first thing I'm gonna do when I'm a sorcerer is I'm gonna turn invisible. And they're exchanging these stories on like all of their wildest dreams coming true. And
That's great.
outside of that,
Four suckers.
Invisible, dude.
Totally. Totally not gonna turn into like a monster. I mean, we've all exactly seen the results of these, correct? Ever? Ever? They just blindly believe this?
They do.
Are people that hard up for magic?
They're hard
It
up
is
for a
pretty
leader.
great.
Shut up, Taz.
Speaking of, have you ever
as
had
your
some
familiar
air-
is on the inside of this room, you see that there is a lever around the corner that is out of your line of sight. And this particular lever is pretty large, and you suspect that this might be the lever to open up the portcullis.
Where's it at on this here map?
Around the corner and out of sight.
Over there?
Where you
Sure.
at? Okay.
Wherever you want it to be.
Oh, okay.
As long as you can't see it.
Right.
Right.
That's fine.
It's over there. It's in that corner.
But they are talking, and there is also There is also a Dragonborn Woman on the inside. And she is sitting at what looks to be like a clerk's desk. It's a very large desk, a very nice looking desk. There are books and scrolls everywhere. And the entire room itself has books and scrolls and shelves and chests and knickknacks and all kinds of stuff. This is some sort of room where they are just keeping all of these things, records, information. But she's poring over these books and looking at them through her very large, thick-rimmed glasses, and looking down at these books and like turning pages, licks a finger with her draconian tongue, turns another page, and says, "Could you please keep it down just a moment? Keeping track of the books is difficult, unless if you don't want to get paid, I could make sure that you're not short-handed this month. As you remember, it is 3 to 6 business days before I can reimburse you for lost time on your paycheck. Now, please, I have to get these books organized." She kind of looks up and sees you in the hallway, and then goes back to her books.
I whisper to Taz something. Like, only Taz can hear this, and I say, "Hey, maybe you should make up, like, the spell scroll you lost. Maybe the teleportation scroll. You really need it back so they can get back to see your family. Some sort of sob story. That'd be a good idea. Just pitch in here."
Thanks for the advice, Mooney. There's a door right here in front of us, right?
There is a door to your left.
Yeah.
You just hear like a snout rub up against your ears as I say this.
You're right.
I walk up to the portcullis, but before I do, I say, okay. We were told to never mind about our gear back in Page. We were told to come see the quartermaster for anything that we need. That is why we are here. This is what we are doing.
We? You think this is her? She seems like an accountant more than a quartermaster, perhaps.
Can Moody stay back?
What?
Don't ask what you can do. Just tell me what you tried to do.
Try to stay here.
Does she look familiar?
No.
Real quick, and then I'll get on with it. Does my familiar see that?
The door?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there a way for it? Is it like one of those medieval kind of doors where you could like slip right under it? Because he's like super fucking tiny.
No.
Okay, well that's just
Airtight doors.
Yeah.
They made that in these
Fucking
stone
airtight
things.
doors.
No,
Yeah.
actually, I'm glad you asked about this door. Is that it has a large metal wheel right in the center, and you have to turn it to unlatch it, and it makes a very loud mechanical sound.
Right then.
And they open up.
All right.
Two guys step out.
What's running out of there?
I
Right?
still won't know my own.
Thank
fucking
you.
name,
Say that out
but,
loud?
We're gonna go with this.
Yeah, he says that out loud as two guys come out of there, and you're like, oh man.
Can we do an intelligence check to remember the names
Lordy
of
Lord.
the
I
three
mean,
people?
I searched the rooms.
I don't think I ever gave you the
You
names.
didn't.
Nope.
It wasn't.
Biff
It was so fast.
probably would have while we were questioning him.
No, dude, he said my sister and brothers like
Yeah.
the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure that's information that you don't have.
And I don't think the guards told Nakma her name,
Okay.
Yeah.
did they?
It is what it is.
They
Well,
just said
hopefully
like
it,
lady or
doesn't
something like that.
become
No,
a-
not even close. These guys are like beggars.
Well, did Biff tell us his last name?
I don't think he gave you that either.
It's the name of the bar, right?
Lager.
Lucky.
Or Logger.
Yeah, Lucker.
No.
I'm Biff Logger.
No.
It's Lucky Biff. Biff's his last name.
No.
It's Wiser.
No.
People know their last name.
No, I got you.
Biff Weiser.
Yeah, outside of the
Biff
shop,
Wiser.
there were 3 frogs
you.
with a awaken cast on them. They're just like, Biff, Wise.
That's the name of the drink. That's the name of the beer.
Yeah.
Biff Weiser. Thank you. That's what I've got. That's what I've got a barrel of. Biff Weiser.
I like it.
All right.
Barrel of Biff Weiser.
8%.
I walk up to the portcullis and I say,
Good job.
operatives from Page here to requisition new gear, please.
The Dragonborn looks once again around the corner. One of the guards is like, and goes over into the area. There are 2 guards who came out of the other room. They're like, oh man, there's so much more air out here. And the guard is like, oh, shut up. You're only in here for 10 minutes. He pulls the lever. The port closes. Raises up. Yeah, it makes that sound.
Yeah.
And
Timing.
it opens up. And the room is in front of you. There are a total of 5 guards as well as the quartermaster at her desk.
Okay.
Write it down.
Quartermaster.
5 guards. Quartermaster at her desk.
I wasn't supposed to say she was the quartermaster yet, was I?
No, we
Yeah,
pretty much
supposed to say
assumed,
that.
but
I assume because of Portaclis, and most quartermasters are being important.
so I'm going to head up and I'll say
She.
let's see here.
If only Ben Middleman was here.
Hey, do you remember the name of
do
the
that.
Dragonborn that died in the city? Maybe they're friends.
Greetings, Nadir. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Greetings. What is your business? What do you need?
We need standard outfit gear for a mage, a combatant, and sadly, we did lose our requisition scroll of teleportation. We do need one of those as well.
Mage, marshal, field operative. Where are you from?
Paige.
Page.
Yes.
Excellent. Down your name, please.
My name is Tiffany
Tiffany.
No, you're not
Last
Tiffany.
name.
Biffington.
Tiffany Biffington.
But Sid with 19 charisma.
Right.
Peter Grit.
Peter.
Please give me
Wow.
a deception
Wow.
check.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Dude, how many times did everybody say to you, it's like, you are
not.
not the girl? That's shocked.
That's, yeah.
Come on, meow.
Oh.
That's still a 20, though.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm pretty scared about this, so I really, really, really don't want to lose this.
I'm calling
No, not 10.
30! 30, baby!
Epically terrible lie.
Yeah. So, but she's so bored
Terrible
with
enough to believe. Sorry.
Tiffany Biffington. From Page. Tiffany, I don't have any records of you in my books here. I don't have a Tiffany
it.
Biffington.
No. Tiffany, no. I'm
You
Biff.
may have my
I'm Biff.
you may have my brother Biff.
He's been through a lot. He's
you're-
been through a lot.
You're a new recruit, aren't you?
I am. I
You
am.
are.
It's a bit embarrassing. I'm a transfer. I apologize.
And you didn't put in the proper paperwork to enroll. How am I supposed to get you into the 401k? You're way past the enrollment for the health insurance. This is going to create a mountain of paperwork for me. Tiffany,
Oh, I missed that bit because
look, no,
un-
save it. Save it. I'm a very... Guards, stop. No orientation today. We're beyond orientation. The guards look around and are like, what are we going to say?
Huh?
I tap Taz, and I'm like concerned looking, going,
He's like, I'm Tiffany.
What? No. What are you doing?
he understands.
What are
about
the two of you
paperwork.
doing? Stop with the weird hand signal thing.
You were saying?
You don't speak. You don't. How convenient. It's fantastic. You know what? I like you better that way. Next time, send him to talk to me. Her. Send her to talk to me.
I will.
Great.
Nadir, I'm
Fantastic.
sorry.
I have a lot of business to get done here. Look,
We can wait wherever you want. Yeah, I just need those things. Is all. If possible.
supplies for a mage and a martial field operative.
Right.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. And the scroll of teleportation.
Highly unorthodox and absolutely not standard procedure.
Well, being a new recruit as I am, you could imagine that I may be part of some special missions here and there. And
You're going to need to get your supervisor to talk to me on this.
Unfortunately, my supervisor was slain in Page.
Wow, absolutely fantastic. What was his name?
My supervisor's name that was slain in Page, believe it or not, I probably gonna flip this up. Hang on, this doesn't count.
You do have your paperwork.
I have a bit of paperwork.
Dude,
It's just
say the
that-
Dragonborn from fucking Cape Kilgora.
No, I'm fine, Mooney. Okay, it's
You
part
do
of the
you.
game, all right? Jesus. You
Mooney's
have
freaking out around the corner.
you've heard perhaps of Everything.
I'm sorry?
I lean in real close. Everything.
Tragic news that. Very well. Pulls out 3 stamps. More paperwork. Hand something off. Take this. Writing you up. Supplies as needed. Mage supplies. Here are 3 vouchers for what you need. You'll be given the supplies that you need to begin. You are being reassigned a new operative. I want you to report immediately to your new supervisor, Obsidian.
Okay, I've so many great things.
Yes,
That's wow, an honor.
indeed. Take those vouchers. The guards will see you into the next room, and you're allowed to pick out your supplies. You have a budget no more than 500 gold.
Okay.
I place an invisible object.
You what?
I place my invisible object
You place your invisible object.
on the wall.
What invisible object are you placing on a wall?
I'm sorry. I always told you guys I'd do this.
Look, I want you to remember that when you put something on the wall, it is no longer invisible after it leaves you.
That's okay. I'm out of sight.
Yes.
You see a pressed ham.
A ham?
Pressed ham.
Okay.
Remember, we got those papers a long time ago from the quarter that guy in the ship part, and it's basically whatever you place it on the paper, it does a scanner sheet of it.
Yes.
I did that with my ass.
He did.
Okay.
I always said that if I got a chance, I would place this somewhere inside of.
Photocopy his booty.
You photocopied your butt, and you are like finding something adhesive to stick this on the wall.
Ceiling.
I love it.
All right.
That was awesome.
Take the requisition forms? You still have those?
So I just kind of jump up in the air and I push
Which form?
up against the
The one she just
ceiling.
gave me?
The ones that give us 500 gold worth of shit.
Okay.
The 3 of you have a voucher for 500 gold worth of supplies.
Absolutely, thank you. We'll head over to see the guards now.
The lead of the guard steps up and is like, all right, keeping track here. You've got a voucher. Use it or lose it. What do you want?
What's in there?
He opens up the gate. It opens and you look inside. There are rows and rows of items on shelves, as well as chests of belongings. Anything and everything out of the player's handbook is in here.
How well labeled is it?
Very well labeled.
So I want my familiar to buzz in. While we're in here looking around, I want him to start searching for a scroll of teleportation, because I seriously doubt 500 gold pieces is going to do it, so.
Yeah, no, he starts looking for spell scrolls.
Yeah. Okay. Do you need me to give you like a perception search for him?
Yeah,
Are they watching us like hawks?
yeah. He's got like this little tote, you know, like you go grocery shopping and he's carrying this tote around. He's like, what'll it be? What do you want? What can I get you?
Buy me some time to start picking some stuff out.
Blue saltpeter? It's been popular lately. Would you like some of that? No, you're a discerning
No.
customer, it seems. Great. Well, let's make this quick. Caltrops, huh?
1 sec.
Caltrops for you?
We must think.
Ball bearings?
got those.
Short sword, long sword, armor. What do you need?
15.
15. There are no scrolls kept in here.
What about rings?
No. I said Player's Handbook,
And
not
the
Dungeon
Player's
Master's Guide.
Player's Handbook.
Tell me again, what was your familiar doing?
Searching
Looking for
for
scrolls.
Searching.
teleportation scrolls.
Is it invisible?
Yeah. And under a 21 stealth roll, hopefully still. Although I'll do it again if you want me to.
As you were in here, you catch your familiar actually searching around. You catch that there is an unusual altar that resonates with magic. You're not entirely too sure what the deal is, but as your familiar is looking around, you pick up on it too. Amongst all of the shelves of common mundane goods, there is also 3 treasure chests along the back wall. They are sealed, but they resonate with magic, with a magical aura. And beside all of them, there is a single altar. And on the altar, there are 4 candles. A red candle, a blue candle, a brown candle, and a white candle. The candles are each set on top of 4 jeweled candlesticks. The jeweled candlesticks have jasper, ruby, sapphire, and diamond. Sorry, not jasper, tiger's eye, and diamond. The candles themselves, or the candlesticks, you're not sure, but there is a magical energy coming from this particular area.
So just so I have this in my head, there's 3 chests, you said.
Yep.
And then there's a altar like behind them or in front of them. How
2
is
on
it?
one side, 1 on the other.
So 2 chests, 1 chest, altar in the middle.
With candlesticks encrusted with gemstones and candlesticks on the candle holders.
In front of the chests?
On top of the altar.
On top of the altar.
Yep.
So just sort of 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
And the sticks are inside of the candles are inside of the candlesticks already?
Yes.
Okay. And are they according to their color? Like is the diamond with
They
the
are
white
not.
candle?
They are not.
Sapphire with the blue. Okay. Okay. I need a religion check on this statue real quick to see if it's like one of those corrupted fucking statues.
You look closely at the altar and getting a good look at it, and roll.
Okay. It's an 11.
It doesn't look to be religious.
Okay. Since I'm over there, can I just like... I want to kind of try to act like somebody who's just like obsessed with a puzzle all of a sudden, and I just kind of blurt out like, "Oh, that's not right." And before anybody can stop me, I just want to put the candles...
What are you doing? Don't touch that!
Do what?
I put
He starts moving the candles around to correspond with the gemstones on the candlestick.
Okay.
Don't! What are you doing?
Sorry.
Off limits!
Sorry. I'm sorry. It's part of why I'm here. I'm super good at puzzles. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. You're right. I do need some armor. I do need a short sword, blank spellbook if you have one, some robes, a staff, a dagger, about 4 potions of healing,
Him and 2 other guards are going back and forth and grabbing all these things.
and some beer and food, as well as just a little bit of some acid. Wait, no, I don't need any of that. What I do need is some alchemy fire. Yes, I do need some of that. 4 vials.
4 vials of alchemist fire and everything else that you asked for. They get it up and set and packed up and start loading up your 2 companions with it. All right, there you are.
One of each of the player's handbook.
I have my familiar. Are you in here with us, Mooney?
No, he's down there somewhere.
He's in the hall.
Placing that pressed ham.
Okay.
I always said I'd do it if I ever landed inside of a Genesis hideout.
What does this door look like from the inside?
Same as the outside, spinning wheel, and
cheeks, tail.
somehow it locks into the wall through some kind of mechanism on the inside. Thick steel, riveted.
Okay. I mean, at some point we're gonna have to make our move, but what we need is probably in these chests.
Mooney, you hear the sound of footsteps coming down the hallway.
I say, cuckoo, cuckoo.
What the hell was that? They come around the corner and they see the picture of an ass up on the wall, like a lizard-born ass.
It's on the ceiling.
Ceiling.
Do they look up all the time?
You know, they look up and they come down and they've got like some line of sight. And they're like,
Oh, they do?
well, it's only 8 feet for the ceiling.
A piece
What
of
the-
paper? Oh, no, it's just usually
What the hell's that?
It's like throwing wet toilet paper on the ceiling in the bathroom.
Interns, am I right? Newbies.
I kind of stayed off to the side and want to walk by.
They continue walking by and they just walk down and they start heading right to the quartermaster.
What do they look like?
There's 4 of them. They appear to be guards. One of them is a lot more heavily armored than the other 3.
Do all the guards kind of have the same layout for armor, or is it like hodgepodge?
It's hodgepodge.
Whatever they have.
Yeah.
Is it specific? Like the quartermaster guards have different armor than the mage's guards? Or.
It's all hodgepodge.
Damn.
With the exception of the ones who are heavily armored, who are actually wearing like an actual plate, they're still all wearing heavy plate, and it's kind of like distinctive of wherever it is that they might have come from.
Yeah, where is that?
Well, you see one of these guys is a dwarf, and he's wearing kind of a dwarven armor of Malbao. You see that one of them is a dwarf of the Cosgoran Mountains, and you also see one of them is a Dragonborn, who wears the kind of Dragonborn heavy stylized brass breastplate and kilt of leather straps and such.
Okay.
Mostly midriff, so they can show that Dragonborn scale armor, you know?
Yeah, the Dragonborn for sure, but the dwarves are heavily armored.
Of course.
I lean in to you and I go, stop changing. Do it now.
Are you able to do that?
What?
The potion?
No, stop changing your clothes, man.
Okay.
He's changing
Alright.
his clothes.
As
clothes?
soon as my sister starts changing her clothes in this room, I'm like, oh, by the gods, turn around, everyone. Turn around, quickly.
Yeah, just start getting naked.
Quickly, turn about, turn about. Turn around, man. Gods, have
Well,
you no
she's undead.
decency?
I'm not interested.
It's nothing to do with that. It's about her privacy. Sometimes she does these things. I'm trying to convince him to turn around.
Right?
Diplomacy check. Why don't you go back to the barracks and do this? This is hardly the time or place.
We've been in a very disgusting place. Blood everywhere.
Oh my god.
beautiful.
Roll.
That's 18,
Pants are down.
19, 20, 21,
Knickers are
22,
down to the ankles.
23, 24.
Zachwell's just like, I haven't seen that before.
Unacceptable. No, this is not the time or
Start-
place for you to be changing your clothes.
Start going bop and look at going in a circle.
Man! Okay.
Bop. Looking at the ceiling.
Does not sound like a
What's he
lady.
doing?
Bop.
Which one?
The guard. What are you doing?
My pants are still down to my ankles.
What is she doing? Get control of. What is
Stop.
wrong with that one?
Stop
Is her
and stare
brain
at the wall.
rotted?
Sorry.
Just stop and stare at the wall.
Sorry.
Look, you have what you asked for. You need to get out of here now. Four more guards come around the corner,
Great.
and they start talking to the clerk out front, and they're like, "All right, we got our vouchers, boys. Let's get our rations." And they start walking in, and they're like, "Hey, newcomers, haven't seen you around here before. How's it going?
Start getting dressed.
Hey, we're here for our
Food.
Oh, what the?
I heard food.
Oh! Wow! Look, I don't know what land you're from, but here in Genesis, we've got decency and civilization, so...
I'm gonna leave my familiar in the room, hiding, invisible.
Oh,
And
sorry.
Yeah.
come, sister.
Okay, we're just here for our rations.
It was a desperate ploy. I guess we walk out.
Tap you on your
Yeah. And at least we know where this place is now, but they don't have what we need here, so I guess I'm gonna head out and ask Nadir on the way by. I'm not gonna go over and talk to her, but just, hey Nadir, where will I find Obsidian?
Obsidian's likely in her quarters somewhere to the south. Just head to the barracks. I'll let her know that you are reassigned and that she will be ready to pick you up when she is looking for you.
Are there any other doors in this
Until
room?
the main time, you should probably just hold tight. Ritual is set to begin soon. You will be required to assist and
course.
participate.
Of course. And by soon, just wondering about how much time we have.
It's difficult to say. It is whenever the elemental convergence is set. I am not privy to such things. Unfortunately, I am just the quartermaster.
Just the quartermaster. Alright, so to the
I
barracks
could blow this place sky high with a couple of potions, and they make me in charge of all of the trinkets and baubles.
Is there anything on her shelf that I recognize at a glance before I
Man,
leave?
dude.
All of it is books and scrolls. Nothing is heavily labeled or obvious.
Gotcha. Okay.
It looks like a clerk's office or a lawyer's office. It's just all documents and paperwork.
Yeah. All documents and paperwork, like, you know, where all this stuff is. I mean, we gotta go. Unless you're ready to fight right here, right now, which I'm not, so I think we should go.
go.
Sweet where the place is. So yeah, we're gonna head out for now. Try to find somewhere where we can like talk. Come
Okay.
up with the next step.
You leave the area. Out the portcullis. The guards lower the gate behind you. What do you do now?
I leave my familiar in that room.
Yep.
And where you want to go, guys? You want to go? You want to keep exploring this place?
Hey, did you get the scroll?
No, I didn't get the goddamn scroll. I mean,
You're supposed to go in there and get a scroll.
She didn't have it.
She didn't have it? What do you mean? This is the quartermaster.
She didn't have it.
Well, you need to find a way to get us out of here then, right, Taz?
I am working on a bit of a plan B right now. My familiar is a little
Well, there's no
busy.
way for the people to come in and help us, right?
Not right now.
How long do I still have left in my potion?
At least a half hour.
Phase 3 comes back around the corner. You suddenly realize that he has not been with you the entire time.
Son of a
Right.
bitch.
And he's like, hey,
Got a feeling.
I've been checking stuff out. Get a good layout of everything. I've been avoiding people, but I just want you to know that they got a prison, and it's big.
Hey, you have any clue what they're gonna do with all the people?
Well, you know that magic circle that we teleported in here with?
Yeah, that they're talking about the ritual's gonna start really soon, and we're supposed to help out.
That's where the prison is. I mean, kind of.
So they're gonna sacrifice all these people, or they're gonna turn them into like monsters again?
Well, I don't know. All I'm saying is like, I saw the prison. I went and checked it out.
You see any bones or like burned up bodies? or-
No, I didn't. Nothing like. Will you let me finish?
No, I'm just curious.
My God, lizard man. Underneath the circle. All of the prisoners are underneath the circle. Thousands of them. I don't know how long they've been doing this, but they have got a lot of people down there.
Wow.
It's a massive circular prison. As big as that chamber that we came in through. And it descends way down deep.
How are they locked up?
With bars, I suppose.
Are they like all in one big cage, or are there thousands of singular cages?
Well, they've got 10 to 20 crammed per cage, and it's level after level after level. It goes down pretty far. I didn't count.
Oh my god.
I have no doubt that there's no less than 2,000 to 3,000 people in there.
Are there
There's poor
padlocks
people
on
on
the
the bottom.
cells?
I couldn't get that close.
Couldn't get that. How close did you get?
Closer than I wanted to be.
Did you see anyone? Were you spotted? Did you
Guards?
speak to anyone?
Yeah, they got guards and they got prisoners.
How
What did
many?
you? What do you expect?
Did you speak to anyone?
I told you, I've done my best to avoid anyone I came across.
Hey, how many guards?
There was a dark corner that I think maybe we could go back there. You want to check it out?
Not really.
I'd
Any
like to
minotaurs?
get an insight check on him, if he actually spoke to anyone or not, or if I can tell if he's lying to me about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm great at these, but it's gonna come in handy one day,
Not today.
and it ain't gonna be today.
He talked to him. He's been down there. He looked around.
Yes, lead us there for now, Australian.
All right. Keep on your toes. It's you might want to be ready. I've got a bad feeling about this.
You know how to stop the ritual at all?
Free the people, I guess. I mean, hey, right? If we free the people, don't we have an army on our side?
What am I gonna do? Walk in there and cast like a giant like version of knock or something?
You can do that?
I wish.
I wish.
Freeing the people is
Just need to
probably a
find a
very good
control room.
start to making sure that they don't get what they want. But
Did you see a control room?
I did not know.
Nothing.
Perhaps if we get the keys, we can be invisible and run around and unlock doors.
well,
What about the elementals and stuff? Is there a key to that at all? You hear about anything about that? There's elementals in this one room, along with like, they look like excavators, but if they were free, they'd probably compost them up too.
You want to free elementals? That's a terrible plan.
Bad idea.
No, let's not do that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, let's go and investigate the prison. Got a good feeling about that.
Hey, Face Julia.
What?
Is there a flow of air in this place at all?
Probably those weird-looking vents, but they seem to be moving magical energy as well.
So moving magical energy and air through the whole place?
Something. I'm not sure what's going on.
I put my finger up. Do I feel a flow of air?
You do.
So there is an air current in
There is an air current. It's at this particular time.
yeah.
Oh my god, really? The first one I'm going to roll is going to be that? Okay. As fate would have it. Roll a 20. Roll twice. Ignoring 20 is on the next result.
Oh, it's Obsidian. Hey, here you guys are my new conscripts.
Well,
It's good to see you.
he's gonna love us.
The magical energy up near the pipes that's kind of flowing, all of a sudden, you see that it starts to spark. And it's almost like directly overhead that this weird rift opens. And it takes a strange form and starts to open up what looks like a portal. And you see, as it literally rips into the fabric of space and time from this pipe, you get a glimpse into a vast, desolate, rocky cave of some sort. It's nothing but darkness and jagged rock. There's what looks to be like a meteor field of rocks and stones in an orbit, moving around, traveling in different directions.
I'd like to throw a knife through it.
You throw a knife, and it flies into the rift. As it does so, you can see it twirl off into the other dimension, wherever this other realm is. And it flies, and another rock crashes into it, and it disappears from your view. From these meteors and bits and pieces of rock and stone flying in different directions, there's sand, and you get a glimpse of what looks like some sort of a large creature out on one of these other larger stones, and it's out there walking around, and it looks to be made out of earth and stone itself. And then that's when this portal, it scores a swath across the ceiling, and a lot of the stone on the ceiling itself immediately transforms and it turns into sand and rains down on top of you. I need everyone to give me a saving throw, dex save.
I use
Oh, sweet.
Use what?
evasion.
All right, go ahead.
I want to try to. I mean, I'll give you the save, but I want to try to duck through this door right here.
Okay.
$15.
15 total.
Pass and pass.
I get advantage. I rolled 12 on both dice.
I did not pass, I don't think.
Okay.
12?
I didn't pass.
As all of this happens, the rift itself also strikes the ground, and you hadn't realized this. You're too focused on what was above you, and you see the rocks falling, and so you go to rush and move out of the way. But when you try to move your feet, you realize that this rift has unstabilized all of the stone in the area, including the floor.
Oh.
And the stone, even though it looks still like cut, chiseled stone and placed deliberately with mortar and everything, it has turned to liquid, and you sink in up to your knees.
Who's
I
closest
should probably,
to me?
should probably roll for Faestrunian as well, who also sinks into it. And for those of you who fail, you're going to take 8d6 bludgeoning damage.
Oh.
Wow.
Ouch.
Wow.
Ouch. Including Faestrunian. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23,
Oh, I'm going to use my Flash
24,
of Genius. Sorry.
25.
I was at 12, but I'm also going to add 4 to 16 pass.
That passes.
Oh, thank God. I'm going to use reaction to do evasion.
25
Oh, thank God.
bludgeoning damage if you failed.
Gee, mini Christmas.
25 damage to Faestrunian. And you all sink into the stone. Those of you who pass the check manage to get outside of the area of influence. But for Faestrunian and Balthazar, the rift closes itself back up and pops out of existence. Just in time for you to be sealed into the stone up to your knees.
Oh, my God.
Great.
Faestrunian looks at you and is like, you can fix this, right?
Yes,
happened.
we will give in the gaseous form potions. If you need to do that right away, you can do that.
Should we use this right now?
If you, we
You want me
need
to do
leave.
get help?
This does not
No.
look, this does not look temporary in any way.
I guess we could cross our fingers that the next time it makes a rift, we're able to get out.
No. You need to get that now.
Are you sure?
Who's all stuck?
Just you and Faestrunian.
There is no reason to believe at any time that this stone will go back to normal. And unless you want to take your legs off, you must drink this potion.
I'm rather attached to my legs.
No, I'm saving the potion.
Okay.
We could ask for help.
No.
You don't want to ask for help?
I would
I don't
like
I've done
that.
nothing wrong.
You guys don't want to get help?
Yeah.
This is literally a thing that happens
Just-
all the time here.
Wait a second.
It could.
Okay.
I rise up. I use Misty Step. I step out.
Okay.
I look around. Is anyone coming?
No. Because although, you look around. Well, you're looking around. That's when you realize that the clerk, the quartermaster, is like looking down the hall through the bars right at you. Just watching.
There was a bit of an accident, Nadir. There was a magical surge. A portal opened up. But as you could see, we have it under control.
Do you?
We do. It's fine. Thank you.
You were stuck in the stone and you teleported out, and your new friend is stuck in the stone. How will you get him out?
With our wits. Fine. Would you like... Are you offering help?
What do you need?
To get him out of the stone?
What do you need to do that?
I would imagine that we need maybe like a
Scroll of Misty Step?
scroll of teleportation, perhaps? I'm kidding. It was a joke. I'm
I
sorry.
don't have any scrolls for you.
Potions?
Yes, is there a potion of perhaps
Oh my god, why does this always happen on my shift?
Oh, and the thoughts of payback are running through Nakma's mind right now on Fish Trillion stuck in the sand.
Really.
Stone now. Liquefied.
Stoned.
Yeah,
He's looking-
liquefied.
I'm just kind of giving him the look.
Fistrian looks at you and is like, no, please. You don't. Look, you don't.
I stopped.
What happened in the past?
That was Mooney.
It was just a quick.
I'd be piercing somebody's ear by now.
This could be it.
Yeah, that'd be really great. Hey, why does lizard just show up out of nowhere?
She hands a potion
Great.
through the bars. One potion of gaseous form. This is going to take me forever to try to realize that this is not a problem and that I just have to get it written off on the books for company use. But really, it's a big inconvenience for
Hey,
me.
where'd she grab it from?
Off of a back shelf.
Like, is there a back shelf with like a bunch of them labeled on the back?
There's a back shelf with a bunch of things, and a couple of them happen to be bottles, but not many.
Are they all labeled?
No.
What colors are they?
Red, orange, yellow, green, and blue.
Okay.
And black.
I will take the offered potion from her,
This is...
and I will feed it to Face Trillion.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That is not what I had in mind.
Takes a big drink of the potion. Whew.
I whisper to Face Trillion.
What?
I whisper to Face Trillion. Use this right now. Tell me where everything is in this whole facility.
What do you want to know?
I want to know where I can place a bunch of alchemist fire to blow this place to fucking Kingdom Come.
I would have to go look around.
Yeah, in your gaseous form. Get to it.
All right, I'm out. I'll be back. I'll meet you guys. Where? Prison. I'll meet you in the prison.
Find the exit too.
I'll find the exit. I'll meet you at the prison in 30 minutes.
Got it.
Got it. Awesome. Go team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take a break.
Really.
It's a good time for a break.
Yes. So before you turn that off, Felix gave a resubscribed, and so does Stevicus Prime. Thank you guys.
Woo!
Thank you both.
Thank you.
This is also their 9th month in a row for
Yes.
Stevicus, and
Yeah.
it's also the 15th month in a row for Felix.
Tiffany Biff.
His name is not
I'm really
Felix.
sorry about
It's
that. you guys.
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
the Great. Sorry,
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Who is that guy?
Phoenix.
Who is that guy?
Crazy.
I know. We know who
15
Phoenix
months?
is,
That's awesome.
Who?
That is awesome.
don't we?
I don't know. Well, if we don't, I'm sorry.
All right. We'll be back.
Have a good night.
Biffington.
Oh, he's on a
Not a
rip.
big.
We're live. It doesn't get better than saying Tiffany Biffington.
It doesn't
Tiffany
get
Biffington is in the
any
house.
better than that. I don't-
Yo, Tiffany, drop that beat.
What's your name? I don't know. Tiffany Biffington. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Being the face is really hard.
It can be
It was
difficult
really
at
red
times,
at the
so,
really hard.
Yeah. I've
It's
had a
really
bit of a
red.
tear this infiltration
Yep.
session, but
Yep.
you know what?
It's okay, Dad.
We're gonna roll with it.
Yep.
Hey, Taz.
I'm gonna
might
roll.
all
I'm
it
gonna
is.
roll the Taz face train.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Out of this dangerous situation.
Hopefully, Facetrillion can find something for us.
You seem pretty confident.
Always.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
something is still weird with them.
Dude.
I'm gonna totally admit that I was gonna fucking. If that chick
What
hadn't
were
looked
you
at
gonna
us,
do?
I was going to literally be like, dude, it's time for you to tell us what the fuck is going on with you, or I am leaving you right.
You were interrogating him in his
I was
feet
gonna
stuck in
take
stone.
the opportunity of chaos
I
to
thought
just
about
do
it.
it.
Oh, I thought about some ear piercings.
I was gonna do it.
Taz was absolutely, Maximo.
But you know
It's
what?
Fun.
I didn't. I didn't do it because it didn't work. So
He's been weird before, so whatever.
Definitely a character.
Anyways.
anyways, what's up, DM?
Facetrillion is a form of gas and disappears.
Okay.
Yes, he is.
What do you do?
We try and find the prison.
We know where the prison is, or at least the direction
Oh.
it's in.
Do we?
Yeah, we seen Richie head off that way with the prisoners.
Right.
Tiffany Biffington took a door to try to escape, or tried to.
Well, I
You-
tried, but I got stuck.
You managed to open the door.
Okay, we look inside.
Yeah,
what's
go ahead
inside?
and scratch off that tunnel.
That door.
There, you can see about that far to the first corner.
Good job,
Is it-
Tiffany.
Is it dark?
No, it's
Is
as
it like the rest?
it is as well lit as the rest of what you see here.
Okay. So from what we know of the place, the jailer took the prisoners this way. We only ever went that far, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we might as well head down here and check it out, since I threw open the door.
It's open. Let's go.
We're exploring.
We're doing a little
Yay!
Recon mission.
First thing you notice as soon as you cross through, there is one of those very large pipes, large enough for a humanoid of medium size to fit into. It does have a porthole of broken glass. Broken glass. There does not appear to be any magic flowing through this conduit of sorts.
Okay.
And it goes directly from one stone wall to the other, straight across in front of you, and that's all you see of it.
I'd like to take a second now to analyze, because we kind of took a break real quick, what we saw through that portal.
Okay?
Am I aware of what an elemental incarnate or whatever you say, infernal? Could that have been what I saw?
What kind of creature did you see on the other side? Go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
That's not bad. 19.
You have heard of creatures, though never seen one in person, called more than just an earth elemental. It would be an earth myrmidon.
Wow. Okay.
They are like earth elementals, but they are more intelligent and more resilient.
Did I get the feeling that it was imprisoned there?
No.
Okay. Because somebody said something about being able to harness an infernal or something to trigger the event. And if these gases are somehow trapping this thing in there, okay.
Can anybody see us?
As you close the door behind you, you notice that the lights that illuminate the chambers continue on for a little distance, but it does get darker further down the chamber around the corner.
I place something in Tiffany's bag, not Biff Tiffany, or Tiffany Biff.
What?
I place something in Nakmo's bag.
Okay.
The real Tiffany, please stand up.
Nakmo, this is my potion.
Okay. Thanks.
The girl's name wasn't Tiffany.
No.
I know.
It is now.
I mean, it is now. Yeah.
We're all Tiffany now.
Yes, we are all
Everyone's
Tiffany now.
Her
Tiffany
name
neck.
was Tiffany Beffington.
Yeah, Tiffany.
It's gonna be the new tattoo.
So, real quick, my familiar's in that room still. Did
got the
those soldiers
TV.
leave yet?
Yeah.
Is the door closed?
Yeah.
Did I unlock the treasure chest by switching the candles around? Can you try and open it?
Yeah. He can try to open it. He opens up a treasure chest.
He's
You
gonna
look
do that with all three of them.
inside of each treasure chest. One chest is full of gold coins. The next one is full of silver coins. The next one is full of copper coins.
Wow.
You suspect that each chest probably has about 5,000 coins on the
Whew.
inside.
Boy,
Nice.
How
get
big
that
is
get
each
that little
chest?
boy a bag of holding.
Yeah, that'd be a good item for him.
Wow. Could you imagine him trying to do that one coin at a time?
Last thing, and then I'm gonna
Like
have
squirrel.
him join us. I'd like for him to look over the statue all the way top to bottom, just to see if
The altar.
The altar, yeah. Just to see if there's anything, out of the ordinary, whatever, what have you. Maybe it's corrupted.
Okay. He uses with normal sight.
Hard sight? It's not a creature.
Yeah,
So, I guess, are you asking if I'm looking through his eyes or if it's my
your familiar is looking through the eyes. Your familiar is looking through its eyes with
Yes.
its senses.
Yes.
It does not have a detect magic, so it doesn't know what kind of magic aura it feels from the altar.
Right.
So, regular senses.
Yeah, okay. Regular senses. Perception. It's fine.
It's an altar,
It's an altar.
and it's
All
got candles.
right. I will have him close the lids on the treasure chests and switch the candles back around and then join us.
Okay. It appears right next to you. The lights in the rest of this tunnel go dark. They don't have it illuminated. And it travels downwards to some extent. You can scratch off until you come to the next corner.
All right, real quick. Time for you to go see what's in there, little buddy. And I sent him down the one with the broken glass. The tunnel. The
Yes.
tube. Yep.
Into the tube.
Yes.
Ah.
The magic tube.
And basically I want him to go until he sees something
East or west?
besides tubing. East or west? We're going to go east.
Hey,
Okay.
Nakmo, before we go east, Nakmo, can I have your invisibility potion?
I'll trade.
Your familiar travels
Refreshed.
for roughly
Easier to
20
get.
seconds
Okay.
before it's like, I need to know which way to go. I can go left or I can go forward.
I pop in and I see through his eyes now, and I'm not attuned to my surroundings. What do I see?
Well, there's a dark tunnel that goes left and there's a dark tunnel that goes forward. Everything is made out of brass, copper, or some kind of metallic.
Left.
It goes left, starts traveling that way.
Which way's north on this?
Yeah, I forgot to.
Towards Mooney.
So that's north?
Yep.
Okay. So first he went this way,
Yep.
and now he's going this way?
Yep.
Okay.
And it travels all the way to a dead end. He gets to a vent, looks out, and you see that there is a room with pens of magical energy and steel, and there are magical creatures trapped inside of these pens. As a couple of guys are talking about something, they're mumbling quietly. Next to an empty wheelbarrow, they each have a shovel in hand.
Gotcha. Okay. Back the way he came.
back the way he came. Sorry. Back the way he came. Comes back to where he was. The only place he hasn't been is further behind him to the west or straight ahead to the east.
Yeah, to the east.
Travels to the east. Only makes it roughly 25 feet before he gets to a spot where it travels off to the left and right again. In what he can kind of tell looks to be some sort of circular pipe or tube that goes around something.
And the circular pipe or tube, would that be going north? You said the left, so...
It would be going circular.
Joe, just around this whole area here. And is there a branch off for him to go this direction?
There are branches everywhere.
Everywhere.
Looks a little bit to one direction, looks a little bit to the next direction, and there's no less than 6, maybe more.
I come back, I tell my friends, there's a pipe that encircles the ritual room.
Like a coil?
Not like a coil. It
Like,
doesn't look
it's
like
building
a
up
coil,
the energy,
does
like
it?
some sort of coil?
It's just like one circular pipe around the
Yep.
whole room.
With one of the things that he notices, your familiar notices about this particular room, is that there are these conduits appear to be drawing air in from different directions, but somehow it all is also pushed out and channels into a dead end. There are these diagonals that go up. Following one of the diagonals, it ends in something dark with a grate and what looks to be like some kind of crystalline stone on the other side. But your familiar cannot go any further, nor can it touch or get a clear line of sight on what's beyond the grate.
On what's beyond the grate.
Everything seems to be flowing to that.
A lot of energy seems to be flowing towards that. There's some weird currents and stuff that seem to give the familiar a sensation that the air is also coming mainly from one other direction, but it seems to be like pulling from other places, pulling mainly from one place and pushing everything towards here.
All right. I relay all this information.
Are there vents that like go out into the room?
I'm sorry.
Are there vents that go out into the room? Like, can you vent air through it?
Are there vents
There's a lot of vents.
to each
Lots
room?
of vents.
Hey,
Yeah.
Sarah. If all the air is feeding that direction, right? Could you like poison it?
A room of this size, it would require so much poison, way more than I could produce.
No. Like not like that. Like, can you make the air bad?
Right, that's what I was saying. There's so much air in this room, and in all of these rooms. To poison it would be too much.
No. Whenever you're in like a mine, you know, sometimes it's still oxygen, but you can't tell the difference. And the only way you know the difference is you know, kind of based on how much you can change it. Is there any way you can change the oxygen levels in the room?
No. No. As far as the mine goes,
What about the
as far as your analogy goes, mines produce methane and other sources, but it's over a long period of time that those gases build up. You cannot just produce them out of nowhere.
So like your breath wouldn't build up like enough
No.
bad air to
No.
use? So none of your reagents can do that at all?
No.
None of the ones you can burn?
No, I produce little tiny bits of gas. We're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of gas that would be required. Way
Yeah,
too more
but
than
if
that.
it's heavier than the air that's inside the room, you can make it so that all the oxygen travels to the highest spot, right?
I do not even have a way of producing any kind of cloud as which you speak. Even smoke, like a smoke bomb of some kind, is only 5 feet of
But
space.
there's no
Are these
metals
vents
or anything in here that would do
closable?
that?
metals, like sulfur or something. What
No.
are you going?
That would
Are you an alchemist, Mooney? You have
No,
so
I
much
just- I
knowledge in this
remember-
area.
I just remember a lot of stuff from my parents.
Yeah, so. No, nothing that could affect an area this large.
You can just tell it by looking. Huh?
Great idea.
Yes, I am quite comfortable with liaisons.
Release the sarin gas.
Right. I do not. Am I wrong, DM? Am I right?
I do not believe you have any spells or capabilities to produce enough gas to poison a particular area.
Okay.
So
To
help.
metagame a little bit. There's
Help.
nothing in the room. There's no type of like stone or anything.
I'm not
like
going to
that
say that it's
would-
impossible to do what you're suggesting. I'm just saying what I know about your character sheets. I do not think Cyrano has a way to do anything like that.
Okay.
Jesse, help me understand a little bit better this grate and what's behind it, and I can't quite get a visual on this right now.
Small opening,
Okay.
roughly. They're roughly this big.
Okay.
A person could fit into them if you were committed enough. And it's made out of crisscrossing, thin gauge wire of sort that has been, the metal itself has been like fused and melted into one another
Okay.
Right.
to try to prevent people from going in and out. But most of the air is going in every place that you've seen so far, and the other places that you've seen so far have been access ports made out of a type of glass, curved and placed on the inside, and those are the ones that you usually see the magic flowing through,
Right.
and the ones that are broken, you have not seen magic flowing through them.
No, I'm talking about, you said my familiar found like a dead end with a grate, and then there was
Right.
like a stone, some object or something.
The grates too close to one another, the holes are too small for your familiar to squeeze through, but it's like the level that you're at, and then they go up. And they all seem to go up towards the central point in the center of the large circular conduit.
Okay.
And they end in some sort of unusual crystal formation. You're not sure. But from what your familiar can tell, it's above the ceiling that you saw when you teleported in.
Okay. So, with my general knowledge of the layout of this area, from what we understand is this thing down here is going to open up, and there's prison cells underneath it.
You got that much figured out?
And then now we know above it, because I knew it was going to open above also, because you had told me that before with my Arcana check. Now we know there's a crystal above all that shit. And there's a fucking pipe that circulates the whole thing all the way around it with like these funnels that
Basically
go up
pushing
to
power
it,
into that
basically.
crystal.
Yes.
Hey, can I doff some stuff?
Can you what?
Doff some stuff while I'm invisible?
And we still don't know where all this power's coming from.
Dock some stuff?
Doff.
I think it's just
Doth,
ritual,
take things off.
just from
What do you want to take off?
They- They had mentioned
All my
that
clothes
something
except
like
for my
this
bag.
could not have. In fact, I believe you had remembered that anything of this magnitude would have failed in an
I'll keep
individual's
the
effort.
Genesis necklace.
Right.
So it's in the combined effort of many individuals that they are able to summon such power. So
I still-
once the ritual is started, then all of these casters will start ritualizing and summoning power, and that's what this is all about.
I still think they're drawing power from some creatures.
From an infernal or something, yes, but we have not found it.
That's what I'm saying. Should we just go to that and cut it off at the source?
We'll destroy the giant crystal if we can.
Yes.
Then that leads me to my next question. I'm glad you said that, because my familiar is in these tunnels now. You're very handy with creating acid. Perhaps I can find a way in. Otherwise, it might be best if we get out of this hallway.
I have not seen the metal that's in this vent you speak of, but I don't know if it can be burnt with acids or not.
We could certainly try. Perhaps.
Most metal is fairly resistant to acids.
We also have these potions. We can just go into
We
the
have fire,
chamber.
we have acid, we can go gaseous,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
and then just destroy. We could.
Well, I'm gonna leave my
We could give
familiar.
Nakma 2 potions, one to get there, one and then destroy, and then one to get out.
Yeah. Yes.
Was there enough room for Nakma to materialize inside this area?
Did I see like there's enough room?
Crystal is?
through that grate beyond where the crystals or crystal is?
Don't have any line of sight to such a thing. The vent seems to end right into in against a crystal. You don't know what's around.
Well, for now, familiar stays there. Let's go around the corner, get out of the hallway, and see if we can find someplace a little less conspicuous to be.
How much time we got left?
As you ask that, you turn invisible.
Cool. Hey, you see a new Mooney standing in front of you? Give me your clothes.
Ah!
The ones you got from Genesis.
Yeah, there you go.
How long does alter self last?
That was only 10 minutes, but then he drank the disguise self.
How long does disguise self last?
An hour.
An hour.
Yep.
You pop out of it.
Yeah, let's get down the hallway.
Okay.
Does it take me 10 minutes to put these clothes on?
It only takes you 2 or 3 minutes.
It's like, what, 5
So
minutes
I look
to
like
be
a
full
mage
plate
now,
armor.
right?
It takes 10 minutes to
forget
put
what
on
it is.
armor. If any of it's armor, it takes you longer to put that
He
on.
said he was getting mage's clothes. Do I look like a mage?
You look like a mage. Mage's clothes are not armor.
You look good, Mooney.
Does it hide my appearance? Is it like a
Akma,
big
you
cloak?
you no longer look like
Sort
a female.
of.
I am myself.
It doesn't hide your face.
Do I stick out?
It almost stuck that way.
You look like a lizard man wearing robes.
I don't look like a dragonborn?
Some people might confuse you for a dragonborn. Some people might recognize you for a lizardman. Those who have seen a lizardman before and are not prone to seeing dragonborn all the time, up here in the north.
What if I put my beard on? Does it help?
Beautiful beard.
Sure.
Nah, it's probably too much of a misnomer at this point.
So do we have
Take the beard
robes?
off.
You said you got robes?
One martial, one caster. And we all have Genesis robes. We had some from the cult,
Okay.
from the brewery we took there.
Well, then if I had it in my bag of holding, I pop them out and give them to whoever needs them, and I put one on and draw the hood down.
What's around the corner, Jesse?
I'll do that too.
Travel down the
Can't
corridor
hide a
and come
minotaur.
up to the next corridor. As you
Doesn't
travel
matter what
down,
he
you
wears.
see that the pipe that your familiar had leapt into re-emerges and comes out from one corner, ducks back into the wall once again. You come to another corner as on what you believe to be the back side of the quartermaster's chamber. It turns the corner once again and opens up into a larger chamber.
Hey, let's burn through this wall with acid and steal our potions.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll work on stone.
Stone melting.
Hello!
ass.
As opposed to start running.
As you enter into this next chamber, the room that you look around is filled with dozens of statues. They line the walls, many of them bearing expressions of fear. Various humanoids from across the realm. There are 3 statues that depict a goblin-like race, though much taller than normal, as tall as a man. They are armed in some sort of ancient armor that you don't see people wearing in modern day.
Okay.
Are they actually wearing the armor?
Statues.
The armor is made out of stone, so yes.
Failed experiments,
Like-
perhaps?
Square.
Not so much. It looks like it's recognizable.
Yeah.
People have seen this armor before, but it's just so old. It's like if we look at armor modern day and we look back at like the armor worn by the Greeks during the Spartan War.
Right. Okay.
So
Got it.
these particular ones are wearing armor out of splint, little pieces of metal with holes in them that have been tied together and lashed with lace and stuff, creating tiny little plates that run all over the place. And they look like goblins, but goblins are short. These particular creatures are roughly 6 feet in height.
Big goblins. Big daddy goblins. Statues. Anything else?
Statues of all kinds of other people. Most of the other statues are people who have expressions of fear or horror or shock on their face.
Any tubes with the glass?
There is one single tube. It looks to be the same tube that the familiar was in, but possibly the other end. it comes to a stop and has a grate on the end of it as well. You can kind of hear and feel the air being pulled into it.
No glass.
No glass on this one.
Looking at the floor, do I see any tracks?
Tracks?
Nakma, perhaps you can. I don't know. I heard a story of something that turned people to stone that slithers. Is there any tracks on the floor?
I'll look for signs of animal tracks or footprints.
What?
Or, yeah, animal tracks.
Yeah, I
Check
got
out the
something.
tracks on the floor, yeah.
I'd like to stealth.
You go stealth. Roll for stealth.
Shoosh.
Nagmon, do an investigation.
It's a 16.
Nice roll.
23.
10.
Is it investigation or survival?
Investigation.
Nothing in here looks like tracks.
Okay.
The chamber
was a
itself
16,
isn't
huh?
necessarily what you would
23.
consider clean, but at the same time, you don't see a whole lot of anything in here. The only thing kind of close to tracks that you're able to pick up on is that near every statue, the ground itself looks like it's kind of scuffed up. You do see scrape marks where it looks like a statue had been moved slightly. This statue
Okay.
might have been like pushed that way a foot, or that statue might have been like stood up and then slid into place.
Interesting.
You suspect that these statues were not petrified in place, but were brought here.
They're brought here. This is a storage.
Hey, wait. You guys. Fire turns them into magma men. Ice turns them into icemen.
Mm-hmm.
Stone.
It does appear as if these were failed experiments.
Do I,
Giant goblins, though.
can I
How
get a
long have they
history
been
check?
doing this? A long time, perhaps.
Scissor
Do it.
ancient.
Right. Genesis might have been around for a long time.
What was that, Balthazar?
Do I recognize these creatures at all?
History check?
It's a 19.
Total?
Mm-hmm.
They're 6-foot goblins.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go in the room. Just like, is there any writing on these things?
Investigation check.
Investigation check.
No.
Cyrano, do you think there might be any secret exits or entrances in this room? It seems to be a dead end. Perhaps there's another way out.
I was just thinking that.
I will walk the outside of the walls and look for secrets of any kind.
What are you guys looking for?
Perception search.
Secret entrance or exit. Perhaps another way out.
This looks like it's a holding room for dead people.
Can I try too?
That would be 18.
It does look like a dead end.
You guys want to consult the magic 8 ball?
Perception. 22.
22.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get, Cyrano?
18.
18. Between the two of you, let's
Looking for levers and buttons and cracks on the floor and just anything.
there's one spot on the ground that's
Dampness.
actually very, very worn. And you see that one of the goblin statues itself is actually kind of on a pedestal of some sort. Though it looks extremely heavy. It's the only one that actually has a pedestal. One of these goblin creatures.
Cyrano, check it out.
I'll investigate the pedestal. Is there a pulley or a lever or something along that nature?
Investigation roll.
Makers, bad roll. It would be 14.
The only thing, you don't see anything that looks like a lever, a switch, nothing like that. The only thing is just the scrape marks on the ground. And the fact that this is the only one with a pedestal.
Where do they lead? Or where are they from? Like a wall?
About this big, and it's just back and forth.
Okay.
From one side to the other.
Okay. Hey, Nakma, perhaps we... I mean, I hate to just try before we know. But do you want to help me push?
Let's move it.
That's
First
push.
I'll like grab the hand. See if
The
it
hand
moves, the arms move.
Breaks off in your hand.
Here. Put this with your collection.
Point of order. So I'm still hidden.
Still waiting?
Still hidden.
Still hidden? Oh.
Yeah, you're invisible. Right.
Where's Moody?
Hold on. Let's keep
Let's
going.
move this thing.
Oh,
Okay.
Move it.
The strength scores total?
8.
Total?
You want to do modifiers?
No. Strength score.
8.
19.
18 and 19
10.
and 10. Between Cyrano and Nakmal alone, you're able to move it with Taz helping. Balthazar, the three of you slide the statue in the direction you see the scrape marks on, and it opens up a small square hole.
The hole.
Yeah. It leads down about 10 feet. There are handholds cut into the stone for feet and hands to hold on to.
Okay.
You can see that it leads somewhere.
Your little friend?
Yeah.
Familiar
find.
back with you.
Good find, sir.
You too.
Down you go, buddy.
Where is that move?
It leads down into the hole.
Stealth.
Stealth check.
And he goes invisible if he's not already.
Okay.
Kick the ball.
And it's dark, right?
It's 14.
It's dark.
Okay.
Gets to, it travels some 40 feet approximately before it comes to a spot. It looks up, and as it looks up, there is another hole in the stone, roughly the same size, but this one seems to end in wood, and you see that there is a recess in it with something that looks like a place to grab onto.
It looks like the tunnel carries on for a bit and then lets up through a hatchway into another room beyond.
Does he hear anything?
I don't know. Let me listen. And I'll use my senses to see what I can hear.
Using your senses through your familiar, you go up next to the wood and you make a perception check.
Yeah, except actually I'm going to use my familiar's senses because they're a little better than mine
All right.
in this situation. 18
Here we go.
for a perception check.
There is the sound of a man's voice. It sounds muffled.
I don't know about you all, but I'm tired of being surprised, so I am going to use my ghostly gaze ability. My eyes sort of go milky, and I am now going to look through my familiar's eyes with my senses, and I want to see who and what is in this room.
Ghostly gaze ability. What is this?
See through walls.
Something new.
Something new.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Thanks, Badger.
You gain the ability to see through solid objects with dark vision to a range of 30 feet for 1 minute.
Nice.
Well, your familiar is able to see through this stuff, and it kind of like becomes translucent, almost as if you're looking through a very fine sheet of parchment, wax paper, and it gets so clear that it's almost as if you're looking through just a thin layer of glass. It's only ever so slightly discolored. As your familiar looks around, you see that there is a man who is dressed in robes as well as ornamentation, looks very important, very regal, and you're using your senses, which means that you immediately recognize this man. This is the man from Kel Moira.
This is Everything.
Arizale.
Arizale, that's right.
This is Arizale. And you are looking around and you see that the walls themselves are covered in holy symbols. Holy symbols to a god of Tyrfing.
Tyrfing?
Tyrfing.
Tyrfing.
Tyrfing. And there are all kinds of stuff. There's a whole suit of armor with radiant, gleaming, brilliant it's just brilliantly shining as it's on its armor stand of the most pristine, polished steel. Traces of gold lining and everything, and a holy symbol to Tyrfing the god right on the breastplate. A shield on the wall, a resplendent-looking sword, and Aziraphale is here wearing some sort of robe clothing. His hood is down, and you can see for the first time that there is actually not a single hair on his head. No eyelash or eyebrow or hair on his cranium at all. And he is speaking to a blue-skinned tiefling woman. And they are not exchanging words. It's mostly Aziraphale is speaking directly to her, talking down, stating the facts. This is the final opportunity that we have. I have given you time and time again to try to accomplish our goals, and yet again you have allowed outsiders to interfere in these endeavors. Kilmoira was the last straw. I will not have any more interruptions from you. Fail me again, and you will find yourself trapped in the elemental plane of Earth, and that will be your penance. We will not fail here. The ritual is hours away. Prepare it. The blue-skinned tiefling, who you recognize as Obsidian, bows down on one leg and says, "As you command, Lord Aziraphale, your will be done." She stands up and gives, you see through the eyes of your familiar, there's actually a tear in her eye. And her brow is furrowed. She's very visibly shaken and upset. And she clenches her fists tightly to the point where they are white-knuckled. Turns around and approaches the door. As she gets to the door and opens it, you see that there is a small child on the outside. Although child might be the wrong word, this is a boy who looks to be approximately 14 years of age, dressed in some sort of sorcerer or wizard's robes or garments. He has a look of concern, confusion, so many emotions on his face that it's impossible for you to read a single one. The door closes behind them, and Arizale sits down on a chassis type of couch. It's very extravagant and elegant looking, of red crushed velvet and buttons, Gothic Victorian style. Sits down and just lightly clenched hand to his forehead. Tyrfing, I beg of you, please give me the strength to change what I can, and the wisdom to know the right from wrong. Might I bring justice upon those who deserve it?
Okay. I'm going to snap back to my friends. This leads directly to the belly of the beast. Arizale is just beyond this chamber. He just sent Obsidian out. He is alone. The ritual is hours away. Nakama, the boy is with her.
Is there a way for us to break in and take him out?
Well, let's cut the head off the snake.
I think we should go for it. We can make it into this room.
What is between this tunnel and it?
Nothing, right? It's just a straight tunnel from this room.
Straight
to the room.
shot?
It's a straight shot.
And the
Right
door?
to him. In his room.
Just a wooden door with a recessed handle. I can't tell if it's magical. I don't have that ability. I don't know if it's trapped. I don't have that ability.
Locked.
It didn't appear to be locked.
It's obviously
Did I see, is anything on top of it? Like, is there like a rug on it?
It's a desk.
It's a desk.
He has a desk of some sort, and on one side of this desk, a massive, large area covers the hole exactly. And from what you surmise, the handle is to push from the underside, and it will slide the desk to one side so that the passageway can be revealed.
Okay.
It appears to be some sort of a secret entrance.
I mean, we can...
Shall we wait for him to leave?
This guy's powerful, but he doesn't even have his armor on. We don't have time to talk. Mooney, I think we should go.
Okay.
Mooney,
He's invisible.
I know but he's here somewhere.
Is he here?
Nakma, your job is to hold the door.
You see like a shadow move, and then you see like this like four-legged creature flying on the wall, comes down.
One of you gets a realization of the sense of time, and you realize that it's about time for Faestrillian to be meeting you.
It's been 30 minutes already. We literally walked down from that corridor to this here.
Did some investigation, checked stuff, eavesdropped, looked through a tunnel.
And then he eavesdropped.
I'm looking at actual real life time.
I can send my familiar to meet with Faestrillian.
I agree with that.
We're not gonna get this chance again. This is it right here.
I'm already showed myself.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I'll say right now.
I thought you were invisible.
If we can get through the door, it seems like the best option.
We gotta take the shot.
But
Hey, you have time.
there might be a
We
mechanism.
literally can just go
Is
see
there a
Faestrillian
mechanism?
and come back.
And risk getting caught in the meantime.
He's not that handy in a fight anyways, right?
He's not that handy in a
just
fight.
secured
Besides,
his
something
exit.
Is there a mechanism that it can open?
it slides.
Yes, but from the inside. Many
Guys, this is
secret doors
obviously
have to
another
be
trap.
unlatched.
I mean, from this side, we
The
can
ball
just
on
go
the
down
magic
there.
8 ball. And
You're gonna have to take a look at my
You
familiar.
should let me go first.
Okay.
And if brute force is required, then I'll call
We need
back.
to secure his
Alright,
exit.
Go ahead.
Okay, follow me.
I'm right behind you.
I poof my familiar back to me, and I tell him, go to the prison, find Faestrillian, tell him where we are and what we are doing.
Are we killing
You're familiar.
And be quiet.
Flies down the hall, takes off, and starts traveling back the way that you came from.
Before he leaves, I hand him my potion of invisibility.
The familiar?
Yeah, he can go invisible with it, right?
It's like it manages to stay aloft, but it's like doing a lot of like nose diving. Like he takes off with the potion.
If that's the case, then I give my potion of invisibility to Mooney. So now I have a potion of gaseous,
She didn't give
vitality,
anything.
and disguise self.
She didn't give anything to Faestrillian, right?
Who?
The lady.
The quartermaster?
No.
No. I don't think so.
Bolton.
Yeah, Bolton.
Oh, Elizabeth Bolton.
That's why we had to give him a gaseous form to get out of there.
You don't know what he has.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright,
we don't.
whatever.
Okay, so I'd like to give me, I don't know, anyone who's not very good at being quiet, give me a few feet of space, please, and let me go ahead.
You got push.
I'd like to stealth and investigate before I do anything. So I'm going to be about 20 to 30 feet in front of everyone. I'd
There's
like
only
to,
enough room for one person to go through, right?
it's a one-person tunnel, no?
I'm asking because like we can't switch spaces after we all go in.
Is it single file?
Single file.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can get in there. It'd be a squeeze, taking half your
Like
movement
up
to trade
against your
places.
belly, like up against the belly.
For half your movement, you could trade places. with
Okay.
somebody.
Gotcha.
So I'd like
Okay.
to stealth as I approach.
Okay.
Nice. That's very good. Activating my Boot of Elven. I am doing 26 as stealth.
Okay.
Nice.
Ooh, nice. Yeah.
As I approach the door, I'd like to do an investigation.
Okay.
And that is a 21.
21. You hear not a lot. You think
I'm looking for latches. I want to make sure we can push this door open.
it looks like a handle.
Slider.
It looks like it slides. You don't see anything that looks like a latch or a lock or anything like that.
Like this.
Your familiar catches up to where Faestrillian is. Faestrillion's standing there waiting. And is like sees the thing coming, he's like, no, wait for me. Wait. What do you want?
No.
What, use your words.
It
What do you
probably
want?
does talk. Balthazar
Balthazar?
needs
What?
you this way.
Needs me? Why? And starts traveling down. They gets to the area. You're all in the tunnel, or you're outside the tunnel,
Can
standing
he
by
tell
the
you any
statue.
information while you're walking?
I'm
in
not
it.
gonna. I
I'm
can't.
right
I
below
can't talk through my
Sorrel.
familiar anymore.
Got it.
He has
Okay.
limited communication.
Well, your familiar can talk, right?
Yeah,
All right. So
but it seems kind of cheesy
Fe-
to talk through him. When I-
Faestrillian
it's a whole
follows a
ability.
little bit, gets to a point and sees the statue, And anyone who's standing around it,
I'm in it, right behind
in the
him.
hole,
How long is
invisible.
How long is the
Wouldn't
tunnel?
see you
Because
anyways.
we're giving Cyrano a 30-foot
Just
lead.
hiding.
So
Okay.
Not in the tunnel. You're hiding.
Yeah, I was hiding on the outside, but
'Kay.
I'm still just waiting for if anybody came.
Yeah. All right. Give me a stealth roll. And you are in the hole.
yes,
Okay.
just inside, down the ladder, waiting
So
for Cyrano.
the
Same.
26.
just inside. Faceronian gets to this hole, sees you kind of down there. Nakmal's in there between Cyrano and Balthazar. And Cyrano, you're like at the gate and you're like listening in. You hear the sound of movement. You know that there's somebody up there. You don't know what's going on or who's up there. Faceronian gets to the hole, looks down and sees you in the hole. What are you doing down there?
It's gonna be a raid.
What do you mean?
We found the big guy.
The big guy.
The big guy, the one at the top. The raid's ours. The ritual's hours away still.
On the other end of this tunnel?
Yeah. Don't go anywhere. Stay here.
I won't. I'm gonna move the statue. I'm gonna secure it so nobody finds you. Grabs the statue and
Hey,
what?
why are you moving the statue?
In case anybody comes, they'll find a hole. You gonna help me push this thing?
I gotta go help them if they're gonna go fight him.
All right. I'll cover you from this side.
I look at face really dead in the eyes. I get close to him, like, don't fuck me on this. I swear to God, please don't fuck me on this. I jump in the hole.
After everything we have been through? Whatever.
I have my familiar give him the potion
Which potion?
of invisibility.
Faceronian?
The one that
Oh, Mooney.
John gave him.
Mooney gets... Okay, Mooney, you got the potion of invisibility back?
Now I got two of them. And
Yeah.
I'm like, face really, are you gonna be okay by yourself?
I've been through worse. Trust me. The odds are in my favor.
You and I remember Kilmoira very differently.
In his favor. Genesis.
Moves the statue up over the hole. The world goes dark. Where's your familiar?
Up there with him.
He pulls out a talking stone. They're in the hole. Prepare yourselves.
Oh, geez.
And then
Told you.
switches into a doppelganger form. That's our game.
Yay! Oh, no.
Nice.
I fucking knew
Do it.
Fuck! Fuck!
Bastardos.
Fuck! Shit!
Good one, Jesse. I seen it. I seen it.
Fucking doppelganger!
A doppelganger.
Aren't they? Oh, you didn't ask. Nobody asked.
Aren't they supposed to? That is an urban legend. They do not have to tell you.
That was so simple!
The last thing your familiar sees is Faceronian,
God,
the
we've been
doppelganger.
had the whole time.
Do I
your-
fucking see like his eyes? Like, does he out fucking do me? Like, I didn't say inside check,
you're
but
in,
like,
you're in the hole. The statue's over it.
damn it.
Only your familiar gets a glimpse and like it connects with you and sends you a visual image of what it
Shit.
sees of Faceronian turning into a
fucking knew
doppelganger,
it.
grabbing it, and then just squeezing, destroying your familiar.
Lights up.
And that's our game.
Yay!
job.
Well, I will say one thing. I feel better now because now I know there was at no point did any of the shit that I do expose us. Like Pip Biffington goes
Yeah.
down in the history books because he
Oh,
had
no.
a spy with us the whole time. So
Yep.
I tried so many times to ask with the magic 8-ball. Does anybody know that we're
really
here?
matters.
Ooh, that would have been interesting.
Yep. I kept fucking trying. Couldn't get that to work.
Yeah, I know that frustration.
Yep.
It's
Good
okay,
game.
we've been
though.
betrayed.
Very good game.
Good
Well,
game.
at least we're in a grave.
I literally said it.
We're already in our
Fucking jump
tomb.
down.
Well, hopefully we can take our gases
They can just
potions
put
and
the
get fuck outta
Black
here.
Lotus on the bottom of that statue.
Yeah, we were all very careful to, and you guys were making fun of me for wanting to keep him in the rocks. I should have left his fucking ass there.
Should've.
Oh,
That
All
would've
right,
been
everybody
fun.
say goodnight.
Good night.